Let's play a game. Let's say you're accused of murder, happening sometime yesterday at 1 p.m. Fortunately, you have an alibi. You were having lunch. Luckily for you, you kept the receipt for the Chipotle burrito that you bought yesterday and the $25 gift card that you're going to send to this address. Plus, you have the bank statement that proves that you paid for it. And you have an eyewitness that was there that can prove that they were there with you having lunch. And just for fun, let's say the security footage shows you being there and the employees that were working at the time remember you being there. And guess what? You're still guilty. Why? Because your accuser claims that the receipt and the bank statement were fabricated. The eyewitnesses were just lying about seeing you there. And the security footage that shows you being there, that was tampered with. There's no evidence to support that any of the claims that your accuser's making is true, but why does that matter? Ridiculous? I agree. This is how Bible scholars feel when people try to say that the Bible was disordered, like a long game of telephone. Because we can literally tell that the Bible hasn't been changed better than we can tell what you had for lunch yesterday. And that's not even an exaggeration. The New Testament alone has 20,000 manuscripts to pull from to make sure that what we have is accurate. And for the Old Testament, we have 10,000 documents, much of which came later on that only validated that what we already had was accurate. It should be pretty convincing if like 5 manuscripts all say the same thing. But the Bible went a little overkill on this one. It is absolutely absurd to suggest that the Bible was disordered through the manuscript, especially considering the discipline that it took just to create one manuscript. If one sentence, one word, one letter was out of place, they burned them like Hillary's emails. That might make some people angry. The only potentially reasonable argument in favor of the distortion of the Bible is probably through mass misprints after the Gutenberg press was invented. And even that is pretty speculative. Considering we still have misprints with the modern technology that we have today, this could be an okay argument, unless we already knew about a majority of the misprints. The Museum of the Bible has an entire exhibit on Bible misprints. But the fact that we know about them highly reduces the probability that, on a massive scale, all of the ones that we have were disordered. If we're going purely off of the evidence that we have to draw from, it's a pretty reasonable conclusion that the Bible hasn't been changed. Okay, look, I don't mean to accuse critics of an unfair bias when I don't know them personally, but it seems pretty clear that the Bible gets some special hate for whatever reasons. How do we know? Well, the Bible is 600 times more credible than the works of Aristotle. It's 3,000 times more credible than Caesar. And it's 4,200 times more credible than the works of Plato. And nobody says jack about those being disordered. Yeah, the Bible gets a lot of scrutiny, but we have the evidence to back it up. Okay, this argument about manuscripts does not prove that the Bible is true. And it doesn't validate any of the miracles that happen in the biblical narrative. It proves that from the time that the Bible was written down to now, it is far more reasonable to believe that the Bible has not been disordered. And there's no credible evidence to suggest otherwise. It's really just kind of all speculation. So don't be afraid to defend the Bible, because it's legit. So that's it for this video. There's really no debate here, but thanks for watching. Based on this video, don't think that you can just not take critics seriously about this issue. Use the arguments, but don't imitate my attitude in this video. Yeah, the debate is heavily in our favor, but consider that a challenge. Don't just take it as fact. I mean, it is fact, but just don't be a jerk.